We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Shelton. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Shelton. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. You look at this Niner defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
From the gun on 3rd down. Shelton. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
And this will be taken at the 13. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's the rookie out of Florida. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
Back to throw here, Herbert. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's got room. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A throw left side for Pearsall is complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Deion Henley. And the Titans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Titans. A great effort there. With touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Titans use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. You talk about this Titan defense. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the play.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Off a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up. Pow! Knocked him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Herbert. That's complete to Pearsall. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 44-yard line. 3 catches last week. He's got 3 in the first quarter here tonight. CD, you remember John Elway?
Oh, boy. How could I forget John Elway and how many NFL defenses? So glad he's no longer throwing the ball around.
Well, Elway threw for 51,475 yards, and we just saw him go past that number for career passing yards.
That means his career now as memorable as John Elway's, and that's a pretty significant accomplishment.
Man, what an accomplishment it is. Congratulations. And he's still doing it. Still doing it at a high level. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Herbert. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Herbert now. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. 31 yards. And the Niners have got it back to within a score. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. That's taken in. It's Xavier Leggett. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
On first down, it's Samuels.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Staying on the ground with Samuels. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's 2nd and 7. In motion, it's Miller. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Home to try. Set. Ready.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Banks. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the 49ers are an extra point away from evening this one up.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out,
oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Here's Herbert. That one completes it again. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now it's Herbert. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks. They have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys.
Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. On 1st and 10, it's Spears. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. The Titans are 2-10 now on the year. And they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That is caught. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 42. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Charles, this was the 27th ranked rushing attack coming in. That play sort of shows why.
Yeah, and I have to admit that I'm a little bit surprised because they have talent on the line. They've got talent in the backfield, but for whatever reason, they can't mesh it together and make progress.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Niners are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
21. Hey, Kappa. Ready?
A shotgun snap for Herbert. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Operating from the gun, Shelton. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the 49ers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Again, Herbert. Buying time to his left. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone is hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. Got a man. That's Leggett. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Again, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. In motion comes the tight end left. Back to throw here, Herbert. This will be caught at about the 3. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Throwing quickly, and Herbert completes it. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
To the air again, Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And his kick is indeed good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Looking deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the 2nd half. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the 2nd half will commence from the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the 2nd half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Banks. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there.
First carry of the game for Brian Robinson.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun, Herbert.
Pass caught by Pearsall. And, oh, he takes a shot at the end of that play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Herbert.
Got a man. That's Ligon.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
In motion goes the tight end. Here's Herbert.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Touchdown 49ers.
Ricky Pearsall.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the 49ers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Now the 49ers electing to leave the offense out there and go for 2.
Whoa. Home the troops right.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
2nd and 6.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Let's go now. Check go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Let's go, let's go. Set. Whoa. Set.
Herbert. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Herbert now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Titans are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Off play action. Shelton. And brought in downfield by Burks. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Here we go, set.
Out of the gun to give to Spears. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 33. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Hand off to Spears. And not much running room. Down to the 32. From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Shelton. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
From the gun on 3rd down, Shelton.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 14. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to throw again. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Back to throw. Shelton. And now here's another interception. And the Niners are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll try the air now with Herbert.
That's complete to Pearsall.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. Miller, the man in motion. Herbert takes it and just pops it forward. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now it's Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Herbert throwing again. He finds his man complete. That's Banks. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 41-yard line. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Here's Herbert. He finds his man, complete. It's Banks. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Hey, easy. We go orange. Set.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. Herbert has it knocked free, but it looks like one of the DBs has it. There he goes left side. And they are going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
It's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone to cut the deficit down to 4. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the two-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend them.
You know what's funny? They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Throwing to start the drive. Herbert. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Fighting to stay upright. Flush to his right. And I think the ball's out. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. That one complete to Leggett. It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. play action. It's Herbert. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. It's complete. It's Miller. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Herbert now to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Banks. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Hey, Kappa.
Herbert. That is caught. And he will have a Niners 1st down, and that ought to be the one that seals the victory.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They're going to pass here with Herbert. Pass caught by Pearsall. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows.
Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Now it's Herbert. They'll roll him out right. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way, just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together,